Episode 15, Double Apex. Um, so, two races to pass, Portugal and Imola. Any thoughts?
Um, Hamilton won yet again.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, and I feel like every race gets exciting towards the end, and then nothing really happens. Is the only takeaway I can get from everything.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
in Portugal, it started off like so exciting with
Oh yeah,
Carlos. Carlos was leading the
yeah,
race for like 10 laps or whatever. You know
yeah.
that everyone on Twitter was spiced up about that, but it was obvious like it wasn't going to last that long. Yeah, and Portugal. The rest of the race was not overly interesting.
Mm,
I actually really liked the track. I remember saying before, like when you look at like the top down view of the map, it looks like really boring, but because like
yeah,
the elevation is like really
yeah,
intense, it's actually really good.
yeah. I remember the flipping Stroll and Verstappen collision during practice, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, but I like the last where you come up on the pit straight and you just go up a hill, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever see that.
Lance Stroll did the same thing to someone else that race as well. Going into the first
Yeah,
corner, I think it was Norris,
yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah, because Norris was complaining in the interviews after. That was pretty
yeah.
funny.
No, Lance Stroll's just like, I don't think he looks in his mirror. He's like,
No, he deserves the seat
yeah,
next to it realistically, but you know.
yeah, realistically, yeah, he's the best possible driver that Aston Martin can get in there.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, none of these other scrubs like Perez.
he really has been having a disaster. Like the last five races or something, he hasn't scored any
Yeah,
points.
since he got COVID.
Obviously, yeah, he's had COVID. But yeah, he's just been having an absolute nightmare of it.
No, actually, since he got COVID, like he hasn't been good.
Yeah. It's not like he's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
he's got that seat secured.
yeah.
Yeah, so
um,
he's
Imola
a part-time
was
taxi driver. Hmm?
Imola was a pretty interesting one. Hamilton got another virtual safety car win, which you love to see
I
it.
think he's a virtual safety car merchant. The virtual safety car merchant. I think like I don't know how many races he's won just because of virtual. Now it's just getting to a point where like someone at the top is like
Yeah,
virtual safety car for
it
Lewis
was because
Hamilton.
of I think it was the debris on the first corner or something.
So yeah,
And
something crazy.
Bottas. I feel like Bottas probably should have won that race, but he had damage and he had a great qualifying. Um,
Mm.
the
I
race
feel
did.
like
Wait, what were you gonna say?
I said I feel like regardless of the virtual safety, I feel like Hamilton might have like won that race regardless of virtual safety cars and stuff. I feel like virtual safety car just like extended like the lead he would have had if
Yeah.
anything.
Um,
But
but
yeah,
like
that is
what
unlucky.
Imola did really demonstrate was how you can have a really good track. Like it's a renowned track for being just great for driving, but
Mhm.
the overtaking was not. There was only like one overtaking spot going into turn 1/2, like into that little triple chicane bit.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like that's just every track at the moment.
Yeah,
Every track is like, oh, turn one is the overtaking position. Apart from like, if anything, offhead, like probably like China or like Canada with
yeah,
the last few chicanes and stuff. But the last corners or the hairpins. But yeah, even though it was just a very questionable race, but it was just like what could have been.
yeah,
Um, I saw Bottas was on the radio like, oh, give me the opposite strategy to Lewis or whatever.
yeah,
So like when I pit, leave Lewis out, or if Lewis pits, leave me out. You
yeah.
know,
He's
and
tried that
then they
before as well in Silverstone. I think he tried that, didn't he?
yeah, and then they just pit him first, and then they just pit Lewis out pit now.
Yeah,
I'm just like, That's pretty. No, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, exciting. It's a race strategy, guys. I feel
but
like if it was yeah.
well, speaking positive, Imola was after Verstappen got that the left rear suspension failure. We got that sort of safety car moment. George
Mm,
Russell crashed, and then it was just a bit of a sprint to the end. That was actually really good. The main standouts would have been Kvyat and Ricardo. They put in some shifts.
yeah, Kvyat put in a shift, and so did Ricardo. Second podium this. You know, I said this like a few weeks back. You can probably find the clip somewhere. I was like, I'm starting to have faith in Renault.
Yeah,
I feel like Renault are like definitely on certain tracks they're the third best team on certain tracks.
yeah,
Like I don't know what is in that Renault engine and but on a straight line that car is pretty like straight line dependent circuits that car is pretty good. I'm
yeah.
telling you now, like Bahrain, they're going to be an issue. Like
On
both
the oval
Bahrains.
track.
Don't even get me started on the oval track. Now, actually, no. In Monza they weren't like good, but
No.
I feel like that's just because they didn't take risks with the strategy. I feel like
Yeah.
they were on par with pace with everyone, but they just didn't take risks with the strategy.
Yeah. And one thing about Imola at the end was Racing Point just completely bottled it for Perez. Like they just threw away the podium. They they put him on soft tires and tried to get the tire advantage at Imola, and they just had like no track position after the safety car. So yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
whack.
no, there's no point in getting tire advantage like if it's late in the race,
Yeah.
because like realistically in F1 2020 season, you're not overtaking five cars to get a podium. It's not 2010. You're not Robert Kubica at Singapore in 2010.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, it's
um,
fair. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a bit questionable. I feel like that's the second time they've made someone bottle it. They always do this when it's like not long. They always do this for like other people where it's like Hulkenberg or Perez or whatever. They always like pit them at like the weirdest times,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they finish after Stroll, and you're just like, but you were ahead of, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, didn't
Um,
Hulkenberg race in one of the races,
he
or
raced
was
in
that Oliver?
Nürburgring, right?
Oh, Nurburgring, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just shows how much F1 I've been on.
Fair, yeah. Um, I guess the first story I would say pretty major has been oh uh oh this isn't working. Um no, but I'll get that sorted. The calendar came out for next year.
Hmm.
Got any thoughts?
I'm just looking at it now. Oh, okay. So there's gonna be a Saudi Arabian GP.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know how I feel about that one. Um, Actually, I don't really mind as long as the track is decent. You know, if it produces good racing and has like more overtakes like than other tracks, then I can't really complain too much. You know,
Yeah.
but then it just goes to show what kind of operation F1 are actually running now,
Yeah.
where it's not like about all these like classic tracks like Imola and all that, or like all these like nice tracks and stuff that we've tested out this year don't really get put back onto the um, calendar. It's just like, oh, it's just the highest bidder.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm just look.
Like we talked about it before, like it's an outcome of F1's business model, which is just quite flawed. And yeah, on the Saudi Arabian GP, like I'm really sick of this kind of stuff. People on Twitter have said it, and it is really true about like the whole, we race as one sort of initiative about like all these issues, right? And then we go to like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, China, Russia, which is like they're all like authoritarian countries that have like human rights issues, and yeah, I don't know. Realistically, it's not like like we haven't even they just announced this track out of the blue, and we haven't even seen a track layout for this street race.
Probably
Um,
not even built. Like,
nah, it, yeah,
it'll just be
it,
done the weekend before, if anything.
yeah. They're probably just gonna build like a bunch of roads, like put like £1 trillion into it. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good at all. The
Do you
one like
not?
notable thing is also this April 25th weekend. There's no confirmed track yet. Uh, Basically, the Vietnam there's like some issues in Vietnam over the track, and it's basically been scrapped for 2021. Um,
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
yeah, it's pretty bizarre to be honest. I've never like it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like there was like a whole like track built for like a race that never happened, and like just because of like COVID. Maybe if COVID didn't
Mm.
happen, it still might have been on next year, but
Yeah,
like they put so much emphasis on this track going into it, and like we had all the renders, and it was built for the F1 game as well, like F1 2020, and there might never be a race on it. So
yeah, that is
um
quite crazy. I feel
yeah,
like this is a prime opportunity though
I think I know
for
what you're thinking. Malaysia, right?
Malaysia. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like it's the Asian part of the calendar, and you can just go to Asia, like
Yeah.
China, and then Malaysia
Yeah.
just under like it's a 2 hour flight. Probably not even 2 hours to be honest, but you can get one
Yeah.
of them fast planes that like really go fast. So,
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
cargo jets, and
No, I was
you're
thinking the
there.
same thing. Like they could easily, if they worked out a deal with the Malaysian authorities, or they could do like what they did this year, where they could just do a sort of like rent out the track just for the weekend, or just to fill that slot.
Yeah,
Because I feel like even though the last time we were at Malaysia was 2017, the racing wasn't like that bad. I don't know. I feel like Malaysia would be a good fit, to be honest.
yeah. The racing wasn't that bad. That's the standards we're going by nowadays in
Yeah.
F1. But yeah, no. But it still like annoys me to see certain tracks on the calendar still France.
France,
You
yeah.
just need to get rid of that. I don't know what it is with France. Like I feel
Russia
like
as well. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
yeah, I feel like France, right, as a track, it has like potential to be good, but like they add chicanes where it doesn't need to be added, and like all this like stupid like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I don't
Like there's a
know.
chicane when it could be just a one big straight. It was like, oh, just do one big straight. But no,
Just
I
thinking
don't
out of
think
like
France should be.
personal
Hmm?
experience, like just like driving it on F1 on the F1 game. I hate that track. And watching it as well, I hate it with all like the colored lines and everything. I don't think
Yeah, no,
there hasn't been a good race there, even though we've only had two of them. I know. I feel like they just go to France because like, oh, we need to go to France because
we're
like
number
it's
one.
hot. Yeah, it's like history, and we've got French drivers, and I feel like that's what they do for
But
Spain as well. Is like they just gotten like used to like going to Spain every year now.
no, Spain is just like a shit track anyway. Like I've never seen a track that looks so good on paper just be so bad, like racing wise. Like there actually isn't a point in watching Spain. It's like if you want good racing, like across the board. So like Australia, you're not really gonna get any too exciting. It's the first track. It's the first race though, so you should probably watch it, right? And then like Bahrain, I'd recommend watching that one. And then like China, it's like a 50-50 coin flip with China. Unless like if there's like rain and like it's a definite must watch.
Yeah,
But then if it's like no rain and it's like cold and it's cold, it's not gonna be hot. It's cold. Then that's just a Mercedes victory right there. To be decided one. Spain, just no point in watching it. Monaco, you might as well just watch qualifying and then you see the order of it and you're just like, oh yeah, that's just gonna be the race. Azerbaijan. You see, this is where it gets exciting. I recommend watching Baku. Like it's not a good track or anything, but the races are exciting.
I
They
know, I
always have
still
good
feel like it's
races.
50-50. 2016 and 2019 were just like awful
Yeah, but like,
races.
wait, what was 2019? Okay, yeah. 2019 was awful, but 2017 and 2018, don't even lie. That shit was controversial and exciting. Don't
I know,
even
I feel like
lie.
it's just like a quirky track where it's like they just creates like
Yeah.
artificial chaos.
Yeah, I feel like it's similar to Singapore, but like less,
It's
but
got
like
longer
not as good.
straights.
No, I feel like yeah, I feel like it's similar to Singapore in the sense that like there's always going to be chaos, but it's like not as good as Singapore,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. But yeah, nah, I don't really mind Baku being on the calendar too, that much when there's like tracks like France and Russia. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like we need a Baku and like like that year when Grosjean just yeeted it into the wall and stuff. I feel like that stuff is like kind of needed,
Yeah.
and then like obviously
I
Canada,
I
best
take
track on
out
the grid.
I take out Mexico as well personally. I'm not a massive fan of that track. I
I have,
don't think
to this day, I haven't watched one full Mexican GP. Like, I actually haven't. I don't even
yeah.
know what that track looks like. I just know there's grass and there's a
Yeah.
stadium. It goes under an underpass. That's all I know of
Yeah.
Mexico.
Also,
And
one like really
mhm,
funny thing about this calendar is if you look at May 23rd through to June 13th, it's a
mhm.
4 week it's a 4 week period with three races that goes from Monaco to Azerbaijan to Canada and then back to France like in 2 weeks after.
That
It's
makes
like
no sense.
yeah.
Surely it should just be like Monaco to France
Yeah.
because they're
I don't
like
know
right next to each
why.
other.
I feel like they should move like Canada should be bunched up with the US and
North
Mexico.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're able to do it that late in the year though because of weather restrictions. Um
Yeah, that is.
but yeah. Well,
October shouldn't be anything ridiculous, to be honest.
hmm, maybe.
I don't
I'm
feel like
not too
October's
sure.
like pushing it, but
I feel like if they could have done it, they would have done it already, you know. And yeah, and like the biggest thing about this is there's like 23 races on the calendar, which is
the most,
two
yeah.
higher is two more than the record I think, which was 21. Um,
Mm.
I feel like we're getting. I think that was too many races to be honest. Like I don't know.
I don't even know, man. It's just the fact that I'm just watching this shit like every single year, right? Abu Dhabi plays like I don't know how much money to be the last race, and it doesn't even come down to the last race like championship decider bullshit.
Yeah,
Um, it's just like Brazil should be the last race. Like, there's no reason why Brazil. Like, if you look at F1 history as a every single year, Brazil's the last race.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm just thinking from 2000, 2007. No, actually no, 2005, 2004 as well, all the way to like 2012. Like excluding 2011, by the way. Brazil has been when Brazil was the last race. It's been like amazing. Obviously, 2010 Brazil. Those like years where like Brazil was the last race and it was like some chaotic shit
yeah,
going on. It was exciting. 2008, that Timo Glock forever will live in my mind.
yeah. Well, yeah. Speaking of like the Brazilian Grand Prix, it's pretty good to see that they're keeping um Sao Paulo on the calendar
Yeah,
because there's this
yeah.
whole thing about they were going to burn down half the Amazon rainforest and build this like massive track like this Tilkodrome and like you know I'm just if they I feel like F1 should be actively campaigning against that because it's a similar thing with this sort of Saudi Arabian GP where it's like they don't really care about the end product at realistically
Mm.
Braz- the F1 is just supporting the Brazilian government, and they have this like president who wants to build this like massive track and shift away from Interlagos, which is like one of like the core races of an F1 season. I'd say like I mean apart from 2020, I feel like there's certain tracks that you like can't not have. I put like
Mm.
Silverstone, Monaco, Interlagos on there, um, Spa, Monza as well. Um, so yeah, that's like maybe the only positive I could say about um
Yeah,
this calendar.
yeah. I feel like, bro, the fact that they even considered that is scary because I feel like in 10 years' time we're gonna see, like, if I'm being 100% honest with you, either through like funding or like there being a different track in Brazil.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of these, like, the thing is with Brazil, it's not, it's like it's difficult because it's not like this European track like Monaco or like that can like get funding, you know.
yeah,
Like, not trying to like say anything about the Brazil, but like obviously like they couldn't do it because of COVID, and they couldn't, and they were like all worried about the track not being held this year and saying like if it's not held this year then it might not come back, and there's a lot of like uncertainty around it. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm worried about Brazil.
yeah. I feel like they're gonna
Um,
build this track. It's gonna be terrible, and then they're just gonna go back to Interlagos eventually. Kind of like what they did with Fuji in Japan, where they just went to it for 2 years and they just flipped back to Suzuka. Um,
um,
so
now, but
yeah,
I feel like the difference between that situation is like I feel like Japan attracts fans regardless of like what track it would be. Um,
yeah,
I don't know if Brazil like has that same flexibility
yeah,
where they can like just move between cities in F1.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I guess
Oh yeah, especially I was going to say especially actual top Brazilian drivers anymore.
yeah, that's true. I saw a thing
I
today
think
about who will be the next Brazilian driver, and I think it's going to be maybe Pietro Fittipaldi in F2, but like that's a long shot away. So yeah, I'm not too
yeah,
sure.
because obviously there was like Senna, and then there was like Felipe Massa for like a nice period where like,
Barrichello as well.
oh yeah, Barrichello, I forgot about Barrichello. But yeah, those like three were like pretty good, like solid.
Yeah,
Might not like, obviously Senna was like the best at the time, but like Felipe Massa and Barrichello weren't like ever the best, but they were always like in the hunt and like always performed and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So like it's quite
Um,
worried. I mean, yeah, I'm quite worried about Brazil.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they. I don't know. I don't think they will, but yeah, I don't have any hopes
I don't trust
for this
F1
like
as well.
F1. Like Liberty have just completely gone against like their hopes of sort of changing F1 and the calendar and for the positivity of the fans, I guess. Um,
Do you think? Do you think who's old on a Bernie? I don't know.
yeah,
Bernie, yeah, Bernie. Do you think Bernie would have done this in
yeah. Bernie would have
Brazil?
been like, he would have. I don't know. He would have ripped up every track in Europe and built another Tilkedrome if he could have.
That's funny.
But yeah. I guess like in other news, so we initially like speculated that. No, I feel like it was almost like completely certain that Schumacher was going to go to Alfa Romeo next year, and then it seemed like I feel like because of like the Nurburgring had a rainy session or a foggy session and they couldn't go out in the car. I feel like they've just completely like pulled the plug in it or something. Um, I don't know. Alfa Romeo are keeping the same driver lineup for next year. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm not. overly sure why. Um, I don't know. Just I'm quite disappointed in it, to be honest, because I feel like the point of having like the Alfa Romeo team was to have security with like the Sauber team, right? And then when you give up like that sort of security by having like the Ferrari backing, you would have like one seat that would be given to like Ferrari young drivers. Back when you know, back when Leclerc got switched out of Sauber, there wasn't like really any Ferrari young drivers apart from Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the reason that he got the seat. But now like they have all these drivers and then they're not switching out the people in Alfa Romeo.
yeah. No, you have to remember Antonio Giovinazzi, academy driver, whatever you like to call it. So it's not like, oh, um, you know, Alfa Romeo are like, oh, not like recruiting Ferrari drivers. They still got a Ferrari driver on lineup. It's like I feel like they were like better on alternatives. I feel like Giovinazzi has had like enough time. But
Yeah,
I feel like it's clear to see now like there's not really anything more we can expect than what we're getting from Giovinazzi.
yeah,
There's nothing like really too, as like harsh as it sounds, there's nothing like really too special about him,
yeah.
like there was about like Leclerc. And I feel like with Schumacher and I forgot his name. Um, what's the other guy's name?
Callum Ilott.
Yeah, Schumacher and Callum have like really high potential, like potential world championship driver potential
Yeah,
in the future. And I feel like it'd just be better to get them in the door as like quickly as possible.
yeah,
I feel like that works out for like drivers where they're like really get them in, get them in the car seat as quickly as possible to like get used to everything, such as Verstappen, you know, um,
yeah,
and all these other like really good drivers, like all these other really good drivers. Like you don't become a world champion by like getting into the car at like 25 or like 30 years
yeah,
old, like Nicholas Latifi. I don't even know why he's in F1, but you get
yeah.
in there, you get like really good when like you're very, very young and you just spend a few years like developing yourself. Then there's like nothing that really can stop you.
Hey, just
So,
one quick thing. Like, just try restarting your camera on Discord because
oh,
it's like timed out or something. Oh, wait, is that working now? Yeah, it's working.
is that better?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, on that sort of topic, I guess, it seems like I think Haas are almost certainly going to bring on Schumacher next year, and the question is the other seat. People have it's been highly speculated that it's going to be Nikita Mazepin in the other seat, because he essentially has a lot of Russian backing, and yeah, that I feel like COVID has majorly affected like teams like Racing Point, well not Racing Point anymore, but like teams like Haas, McLaren, and Williams. So it's
Yes.
looking like Haas is going to bring on like a pay driver, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like it might be Sergio Perez.
You reckon?
Well, if you want a paid driver,
Hmm.
then Sergio Perez is the best option. Even though
Yeah.
Sergio Perez, he is a paid driver, but he's a very, very good paid driver.
Yeah.
A lot of F1 drivers like are paid drivers. Like that's the only way you can really get into F1 nowadays. So like, but I feel like paid drivers like associated with like drivers that don't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
For example, Lando Norris is like you can class him as a paid driver, but like he's like a very good driver.
Yeah.
Or like,
Same as Alonso as well.
yeah, Alonso's was a paid driver and he was a very good driver. So there's a lot of like I feel like most of the grid are like everyone has like a lot of backing, like financial backing, and I feel like Perez probably has one of the highest financial backings of anyone on the grid. So there's no reason not to like pick him. if you want like a experienced midfield driver that's also got financial backing from that brings sponsorships
Yeah,
that can really help your team out. Yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't pick Perez.
yeah. But in this article, he's talking about like he was questioned about having two rookies, two of the young drivers in Haas, and I
Mm.
mean they are potentially open to it. I feel like Ferrari should be putting more money into like securing the future for um like if Haas bring on both their young drivers, I feel like Ferrari should put major funding into it because like that's what Alfa Romeo was supposed to be, and they've just got two sort of you know stand-ins really. I wouldn't really say like Raikkonen's doing a good job. It's like I'm not exciting. Like he's doing a good job, but it's like I'm not excited to see him in the car anymore at this point. You know what I mean?
Nah. Okay, first of all, Raikkonen was doing bits. I can't remember which race, but which one of the two. But that first lap, that was like the greatest
Yeah.
first
Okay.
lap
Yeah.
ever
That
seen in
was true. Yeah.
history. The greatest first lap, like 10 overtakes. Or
Yeah.
I feel like, I feel like, you know, drivers like a driver like Raikkonen. I feel like he's only got like 2 or 3 seasons like left of him like really being in F1.
That's true,
If it
but
were,
we said that 2 years ago, and we're here now. So
no. But like now it's like actually like that. He's like 40 years old.
yeah,
Like there's only so far as far as you can go. But like I feel like Raikkonen like he doesn't take away from like anyone by being on that grid.
I don't know. I'd
If
rather
that makes
see
sense.
two young
Yeah,
drivers in Alfa Romeo personally.
I get that. I get that. But like when Raikkonen's racing wheel to wheel and very fair drive. Um,
It's usually just
yeah, no,
him and Sebastian Vettel, in his like clown car, just banging wheels with each other. So
no, but Raikkonen is very fair when he races and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But it's just like he's been around F1 for almost 20. It's going to be 20 years next year. It's like it doesn't excite me to see him anymore.
20
Um,
years, one world championship.
yeah.
That's probably the worst. Like, actually, no, I'm gonna say worst world championship to seasons ratio because it's people that haven't won world championship.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
now it's quite weird, like knowing like Raikkonen as a world champion. Like
I
now, you're
know.
like, oh, that guy's a world champion. I don't even wouldn't even guessed it.
Yeah. I feel like ever since he went to Ferrari in 2014, he's just been a bit of a different driver, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, I feel like if he didn't take a break, he would be like a top driver.
Yeah.
But
It's
like,
possible. Yeah.
I don't feel like there were enough seats for like top teams.
Yeah. I don't know what happened in
For this
2010. It
much.
was so bizarre.
No, he just left for rally car racing because he wasn't happy with
I think.
obviously 2000,
I think
2009 Ferrari weren't
because
very good.
and Ferrari were pushing him out because Alonso were coming in. They wanted to keep Massa as well. Um.
Yeah,
So
but then he came back with Lotus and he won a few races that he was actually like a
those two
race winning
years
driver.
were those 2 years were awesome. Like Raikkonen in Lotus. I don't know. I really rated those years. Like Lotus was such a cool team as well. Um,
Yeah, they were
that's
like
just
an
for me.
outside dark horse all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like people were like predicting them to win championships and stuff. Like
yeah,
everyone was like,
yeah,
but yeah, no, they were actually a pretty good team. Like better than what do you call it, Mercedes at the time.
yeah. So I guess that's about it for that one. One thing that I guess needs to be talked about is the recurring topic of Alex Albon this year. He hasn't really had the last two races haven't been that good for him personally. Have like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just getting worse.
Qualifying, I feel like he's doing a bit better. Like he's doing decent in qualifying. It's just I feel like it's the first 5 laps of him is just not like he just gets stuck in the midfield in the first 5 laps. If he could stay in the top 4, I feel like he would do all right.
Yeah, no, I feel like he just needs to. It's difficult. It's a difficult one. because I want to be like, oh, he needs to like pull his weight in terms of like doing his bit for the team, but like at the same time, I don't feel like there's a lot he can like actually do.
Yeah,
Like he's not gonna go on and like win like two races and be like, oh yeah, I'm still Red Bull's second driver or whatever. But by the same time, like you can't be like battling for 10th. You like
yeah,
Alpha Tauris, and then obviously Pierre Gasly signed a new Alpha.
yeah. That's the big one.
Yeah, and he said he was quite surprised. I think it was there was someone said that he was quite surprised that he wasn't like considered for the Red Bull seat,
Yeah,
which is a bit like if I was Pierre Gasly, I'd feel like very disrespected if that was me.
yeah,
Like, but at the same time, obviously AlphaTauri is like you're still contracted to Red Bull,
yeah,
so like you can always be switched in and out. I feel like that's what they probably would have said to him.
yeah,
Like, oh, if you sign the contract, you know, and you perform like this, you can get the seat because we can just switch you in and out.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm not.
yeah. I'm not sure because there's been a lot of like movement about getting Yuki Tsunoda in.
Mm,
He's in the top three of F2 right now.
that's quite
Um,
impressive.
yeah, he needs to get third to get enough super license points for next year. Nikita Mazepin could definitely get him, and Christian Lundgaard could get him as well. So we'll have to see. I feel like what they're doing is they're waiting until the end of the season, and if Yuki Tsunoda doesn't get super license points, they're going to put Alex Albon into AlphaTauri, and then if I feel like if they do that, they're going to get Sergio Perez into the Red Bull seat.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. I don't know if Sergio Perez would be happy to be a second driver there.
Yeah, but it's certainly a step up.
That's the weird. Yeah, that's the weird thing because obviously he is upgrading teams and everything like cars,
Yeah,
but then I don't know if he'd walk in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can to like get podiums and try and win for myself because I feel
yeah.
like it's
I
my
feel
like
like I feel like Red Bull just need a consistent driver that can get top five every race,
yeah
and I
that's
feel
what
like
I feel
Sergio
like that's
Perez can do that.
I feel like that's why everyone like says Nico Hulkenberg instead of Sergio Perez
Yeah,
because I feel like Sergio Perez got this like selfish streak about him like more unpredictability
mm,
if that if I don't sound crazy I don't feel like I sound crazy saying that but like there's been moments where like they've asked him to like swap out and like swap positions and like they tried to instill team orders and he just hasn't listened.
yeah,
Um, where the Red Bull is like a team that would actually like put team orders in at the moment, I don't think they would. I feel like they just want to take the maximum haul of points that they can.
yeah. But I kind of also feel like they
But
do
yeah, I'm
like
not.
team orders in like a subliminal way, where it's like they put a lot more focus on Verstappen's car in terms of like development, setup, engineering,
Yeah,
because it's the same
yeah,
thing that's going on with Ferrari right now. It's like if you look at the pace difference between those two cars, it's like that's not the difference in driver. Like Verstappen is not that much better than Gasly or Albon. You know, if you're looking at 2019 or 2020, like the gap is not that big. So there's
mm,
something wrong with that car. I said it before. I feel like the car
yeah,
is way too pointy on the front end and is quite unstable on the rear. For and I feel like it's just they've just forcing a Verstappen setup. Like they're just giving like an adjusted setup to Albon, and it's just not working.
yeah. No, it is a curious case. Um, what do I say? Like Red Bull, I feel like they give a lot of priority to Verstappen. I feel like that is quite.
Yeah,
Um, whether they would actually like say over the radio like move out of the way is like a different thing. But I feel like they set it up in a way so that they don't have to do, and then they
yeah,
can be like that team that be like, oh yeah, we don't put team orders in.
yeah,
You know, I feel like that's a Ferrari thing that Ferrari got like a reputation for. And now
Yeah.
Ferrari's doing like the same thing with Leclerc and Vettel.
Yeah.
But I feel like that Ferrari car is just like very, very bad. I feel like Vettel's just performing like how it actually should be performing, and Leclerc's just outperforming it. If that makes sense.
Mm.
I feel like that's how I see it.
But the pace difference is massive. Like,
Yeah,
Vettel
is
is in like
ridiculous.
P15 and Leclerc's in P5 most of the time during the race. It's just not believable to me.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like. And when I see it on Vettel's side, I don't feel like anything he's doing is like his fault. Like anything that's going on, in the
Yeah.
sense that like I remember him like an interview afterwards. Someone was like, "Oh, you got a point," and then he's like, "Oh, we're celebrating over 1 point now." So
Yeah.
obviously, when I hear that, it makes me kind of happy because I'm like, he's obviously not happy with the situation that um a lot of his fans obviously aren't happy with like how like the situation he's in either,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like showing frustration like kind of goes to show that like if when he goes to Aston Martin next year, he's going to expect the very best, you know, and try and
Yeah.
get the best out of that car, which is only which is something that I'm very hopeful of in 2022. You know, if they can like try and get like a few podiums here and there, and then like 20, and then the next few years they can push for a championship maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But what do you think of like the Albon case? You think he should get fired from Red Bull or what?
no, 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 no. I think obviously depending on Sonoda, um, I feel like Kvyat's like already like out of the door
Yeah.
basically. Um, and I feel like Verstappen is just chilling and he's got his seat secure, like he's not in any question. And I feel like Gasly and that other Toro Rosso seat, if Sonoda gets into the Toro Rosso team, I feel like they might just next season they might keep going
Yeah.
just to be like just. And I don't think it's because he's better than Gasly or vice versa. It's literally not even about that. I feel like they'll do that just to like be like, oh, we're not like a team that gives up on our drivers type shit.
Yeah.
And like build a reputation, for their like
Yeah.
street cred. I feel like that's what Red Bull will do. Because realistically, I don't feel like they'll have the gain from putting Gasly in that seat is not better than the loss.
Yeah.
In the sense that if they take Albon out, and you've said this a couple of times, and I've actually thought about it now, perfect sense. If they take Albon out and put Gasly in, and Gasly like just does the same thing that he did like last time, Bull, everyone's just gonna be like, "What the fuck's going on about at Red Bull?"
Yeah.
Rather than, "Oh, Albon is not doing very well or whatever." It's just development. They're just gonna develop him, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing if they get Sonoda and AlphaTauri next year and keep Albon, the question is, do they promote Yuki Tsunoda ahead of Gasly like they did with Albon?
I don't think that's possible. I think
I
that's
feel like that's exactly what Red Bull are planning on doing.
if that happens, I feel like Gasly's like he'll try to leave.
No, I feel like Gasly's going to Renault in 2022.
And and actually, no, that is a possibility. I feel like I see him at that Mercedes seat more. Actually, no, Renault is a shout,
Yeah.
but that Mercedes seat. If I'm him, I'm eyeing up that Mercedes like like a steak dinner. Like I'm just waiting for that shit. Because
Yeah.
realistically, when Hamilton wins his eighth championship next year, yeah, I said it.
If he's in
He's gonna
F1
win.
next year, which people have been talking about.
He's
Still
gonna be
hasn't
in
signed a
F1 next
contract.
year. He's gonna be in F1 next year. It's like no, but like, why would he not be in F1 next year? It's just like it's like being on course for like a world record in the hurdles.
Yeah.
and be like, you know what, I don't need this, and just walking off the like track.
Yeah.
No, but like,
So
yeah, but there's no reason for Hamilton. Obviously, like depending on his personal like situation and like how he is. I feel like he's made plenty of money and stuff. I feel like the only reason he's going to be in F1 next year is for that eighth championship to solidify himself as like the one of the all-time greats.
yeah, but why not 9? Why not 10? Like you
Yeah,
could say,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like the only reason he's going to be in F1 is because of that eighth championship, and like furthermore, like trying to extend
yeah.
that.
I feel like he could definitely go for 10 personally, if he wanted to. Like I feel like he could.
Yeah, if you really wanted to. But it's gonna be a crazy situation because Bottas is like signing 1 year contracts like every year, and he's not really like everyone's just like, oh yeah, Bottas' seat is secured, but like everyone's just like, I feel like Mercedes have got like their eyes on like other drivers.
Yeah.
George Russell's like chilling in Williams, just chilling, just waiting for his time. So like, all I'm gonna say is Hamilton retires, if Hamilton retires, and they promote George Russell, I feel like Mercedes might get rid of Bottas and put someone like Pierre Gasly in the seat.
Yeah. I can see that too, yeah.
Because it's going to be like it'd be a more even partnership. Because then Bottas, if like, let's say you promote Russell and you keep Bottas, I feel like that would hinder Russell's development as a driver in the sense that
Yeah.
Bottas will just be like, oh, this is my team now. And like, obviously him being the senior driver and having race wins and stuff and contending for championships, not really contending, just finishing second, like 100 with a 100-point gap. I feel like he'd expect to get like priority.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. It'd be interesting to see at least.
Yeah, but like, yeah, in like 5 years, like we could have the craziest driver lineups that we couldn't even imagine. So like,
it's like 5 years ago. Looking at the driver lineups now, it was like you would never. It's like unrecognizable. So
Yes, so like can't really predict anything crazy.
Yeah.
There might like be a wonder kid that comes out of F2 in like 2 that like get promoted to top team.
Yeah.
Like Leclerc.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we can't really predict too much. It's all speculation at the moment.
Yeah.
Written by the best speculators on YouTube.
Yeah. So I guess that's about it for that. I think maybe we can look at some it works. Predictions. The results.
Let's predict.
Well, we can look at the results.
Oh, the results, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like for Imola, you got some really good points at Imola. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, I had faith in the honey badger.
You got 11 points in one weekend. That's your highest.
Wait, is that Imola or is that another point? Is that
for Imola?
Oh, that is it. Yeah.
And Portugal, you got 6 as well. Like.
Yeah, I'm making this. Yeah, and Germany, I got 6 as well. Making baby steps, Kyle. Be careful.
Yeah. For me, I got 8 in Portugal and 5 in Imola. Kind of got screwed by Bottas and how if Bottas didn't retire, if Bottas won, I would have got 5 more points. So,
Yeah.
So you're only 17 points behind? Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you're catching up.
Like 2. Yeah, slowly. The thing is with me though, like with my predictions and whatever, is either I'm like really, really off or really, really on. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like for example, in Hungary I got like 9. Spain I got 7 points and like 6 and 11.
Yeah.
Which are like crazy gains, but like other ones I make like 0 points in one weekend. So like if these weekends I had like 2 points or like 3 points, and I made like petty change,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be like, but it is what it is.
yeah, exactly. What you say? Oh, Turkey. What are you feeling about Turkey in general? In general, not even just predictions. Like
Okay, I have to search up the track layout because
you can't remember it.
when I
You can't remember this classic track.
nah, I lost it because I haven't watched the Turkish GP since 2010.
Yeah.
I think the Turkish GP 2010 was one of my favorite races
Mm.
because I watched that shit on like BBC iPlayer like 3 times while it was still on, and I
Yeah.
remember recording it on Sky, so and I also watched it. Yeah,
I just remember banging it out on F1 2011, so it's ingrained in my head. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it has potential to be a good weekend. Going into that final like triple chicane is a good point for overtaking. Turn one is like so like cursed. It's not. It's such a bizarre corner. Um,
yeah, no,
I
that
feel
is
like there's.
ridiculous. That's Russia. What the fuck? No, but
I feel like
if I'm
you
being
can't
honest,
overtake until after going into that chicane after turn eight. You could overtake into there, and then going up the hill with DRS and into that other chicane is like
yeah,
the only place you could overtake maybe. But seeing turn
yeah,
eight again in these cars is going to be crazy. Like they're going to go so fast through that corner.
yeah. The fact that is turn it is classed as one turn is actually corrupt.
Yeah,
It should be like that's 4 corners. One, two, three,
it's not
four. Yeah,
even a
that is
corner in
literally.
these cars though.
Yeah, no, it's just a. But yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I know what's gonna happen here. I can feel it in my mind. Like I can sense it.
Yeah,
Obviously, I feel like last weekend we had the luxury of like predicting before qualifying. No, after qualifying, I mean.
yeah,
Or we predict, yeah. So that kind of gave us like some nice points and stuff. That's not cheating, by the way. We just had to get the predictions off, otherwise we won't that weekend. Um, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be a Mercedes 1-2 yet again. I'm going to stick with the Hamilton Bottas Verstappen prediction for my top three.
yeah,
The fastest lap Hamilton. I don't. I feel like that shit. I feel like that's just my safest bet if I'm getting like any points. I feel like those are the top three like every single race. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's where it gets interesting with what do you call it? F1.5. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Okay, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. It's gonna be Ricardo first. Yeah, I'm fully on the Renault hype train. I'm invested because I'm looking at this track and I'm just like, you know what? Why not? Why not? Why not a Ricardo?
yeah.
This might be a Ricardo F1.5 victory. Um, then I'm putting in Lance Stroll. I feel like he's gonna do really well this weekend because I have no faith in Perez at the moment. Because COVID complications really affected his driving ability.
Wait, don't you mean Stroll, right?
No, yeah, Stroll. I don't have faith in Perez. I have faith in Stroll.
It's the other way around, right?
No. I don't have faith in Perez at the moment
No, but
because he
Stroll's
hasn't
been
been
bottling
performing.
it for like 5 weeks.
Look. You know what? You're right. Stroll has been bottling it for 5. But I can't change the predictions now. I've already said it. So look, this is the weekend Stroll turns it around, and I'm putting in the master whiz kid, Charles Leclerc, coming in with a third place at F1.5. And I don't think I've gotten one F1.5 fastest lap right, other than
You got the first one right.
other than the other than the first one with
I haven't
Lando
got any of them
Norris.
right either.
That was, yeah. So you know what? I've been predicting Norris a lot, but just because of flipping scenario 7 or whatever he calls it, I know which I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my brain. This is going to be Oh, there's so many drivers to pick from. I think it's gonna be this is tough. This is tough. You know what? Fuck it. This is gonna be a Daniel Ricciardo fastest lap. This is gonna be a Daniel Ricciardo fastest lap.
All right then. Okay.
I'm fully in the. I'm fully on the Renault hype train. I'm
That seems
invested.
decent.
Huh?
No, it sounds alright. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna predict Hamilton's gonna win. I'm gonna predict. I'm not sure about Red Bull. This I feel like this is not a Red Bull track at all.
Yeah,
Just some of
it's
these
not a Red Bull
corners
track.
are just.
A bit too fast.
Like I'm just thinking of. I feel like one of them is gonna drop it. I feel like it's a guaranteed spin turn one for Red Bull.
Or Vettel.
Yeah. Um. I'm just gonna. But I feel like Verstappen's gonna come second though. It's really weird. Like. All right,
I
I
know what you
predict
mean.
Bottas second, and then I'm going to predict Perez as third because he's one of the few drivers that actually has raced at this track before.
Okay.
He's got that
Okay.
experience.
You're coming in with your analysis.
Yeah, and then Hamilton's going to get the fastest lap. It's guaranteed. F1.5 Perez win, and then you know what? I'm going to put Gasly second. Ricardo third. Fastest lap. It's usually not one of the top three for the fastest lap, I don't think. Wait, let me look at the results.
This what do you call it? Third place constructors spicy.
Yeah.
All separated. Third, fourth, and fifth separated by
I'm just
one.
gonna. Where did it go? Oh, that's you. That's fine. Sorry. Yeah, let me predict Perez fastest lap. All right, that's it then. That'll be interesting to see if you can actually catch up to me. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like I'm putting too much emphasis on this, like Perez doing one race in a Sauber at Turkey, but
No, I got my No, I've still got like realistically, I still got that Hamilton winning the championship point thing, prediction. Just chilling.
Oh yeah.
So like realistically, we're almost level. Almost level.
Yeah, but you predicted Leclerc third, so might even out a bit.
That was before the Ferrari. No, that's just going to be 0 point thing. That's just going to be 0 points. But yours is like off order. So like, if Hamilton wins a championship, you get points for him. Like predicting him second, right?
Yeah.
But like, if Bottas comes second, you'll get points. But like, you won't get points for Verstappen.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
But like, I'll get like the full points for Hamilton, and then I don't know if I'll get points for Verstappen at this point because I feel like I've kind of given up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I forgot about Bottas when I was predicting. I feel like, what do you call it? I feel like, oh yeah, it's going to be kind of close this year, like almost was how it was in 2019. I feel like Ferrari will sort themselves out and Red Bull will get better.
Yeah. I think Bottas can win the Constructors' Championship by himself, can't he?
Something ridiculous like that.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, Bottas is on 197. Yeah, he'd be second right now in constructors.
Yeah.
Hamilton would literally be first in constructors on his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like by a sizable margin as well. Like he's won 9 races. He might be Vettel for most races won in a whole season.
what's the record? 13, isn't it? Or
something like that. I thought it was 11. No, no, it's 13.
because Vettel won 9 in a row, and then I think he won 4 as well in
Mm.
2013. So yeah, yeah, I feel
But
like
the fact that
he's
he did that in like 2011 is actually so impressive. Like this, it's not like this where like there's just one dominance. You know, it's not dominance
yeah.
like that. Like Mercedes are like, oh, this is by far the best team. Red Bull weren't by far the best team that season.
Um, being a misremembering it a bit.
Nah, because I remember him losing out in China. Like Lewis Hamilton just like completely blitzing that race,
Yeah,
and it and like at the beginning of the season, everyone thought it'd be easy.
yeah,
No, but I feel
but
like yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
I guess that's everything really. Um, hopefully have a good race in Turkey. I'm not. Did we ever
Yeah, I'm
have a
looking to.
good? Was there ever a good race in Turkey apart from 2010? I can't remember
I don't
one.
think so.
I
I don't
remember
think so.
Massa got a win there in 2005 or six.
No, he won 2005, six, and seven.
Who Massa?
Yeah.
Oh jeez. I remember it
Oh
was
wait,
his
no, he
first
won. No, he won.
win.
He won two. He won 2006 and he won 2007. I don't know about two.
Yeah,
I remember him winning. I think he won three in a row.
yeah,
I shall search that up now.
but yeah, I like going back to the tracks. Because everyone always like it's one of those things like that F1
Yeah, Felipe
fans
Massa won
always.
three races.
Oh jeez, that's probably his record to be honest. But
Yeah, no, is the most wins. Um, yeah, he won 2006, 2007, 2008. Yeah, so
and
I was on track.
Has Hamilton ever won a Turkey? I don't think he did. Did he?
He won 2010.
Oh yeah, 2010. It's a bit of a fleak, but I guess he won it. But
No, but that's crazy. He won three in a row. Like it was.
yeah,
No, he literally went in. I remember him going. I can't remember what year, but he went into the to Turkey and he was like, "Oh yeah, no one can beat." And like he won, and yeah, it was in 2008. Everyone was just like, "Oh, you won two in a row, so how do you approach this?" And then he just won it again, as I told you.
yeah, yeah.
Talk shit, get hit.
It's like Hamilton at literally every track. So
Like Canada, because the stewards will call some bullshit for him, but um,
but
like Hungary, Canada, I feel like those are just Lewis Hamilton tracks, and it's not even funny.
Silverstone as well.
Silverstone, yeah, no, I feel like Silverstone less so because like when the cars are even, I don't.
In qualifying, he always gets pole at Silverstone.
No, but like Silverstone when the cars are even, like when the cars were even, like 2000, like
2018 got
it,
punted off the track. That's the reason he didn't win.
no, I'm not even talking about that. No, he wouldn't have won in 2018 anyway.
No, he could have.
Like, yeah, he could have, but I don't think he would have won.
Well, he fought all the way back to the front after he
Yeah,
got
but
punted off.
no, but the context of that situation is you have to remember how much faster Ferrari and Mercedes were than the rest of the track.
I know, but if he didn't get punted off, he probably would have just dominated.
No, but that's like me saying, oh, Vettel would have won 2018 if he didn't get punted off the track as well in Italy. You see how he made his way back, all the way back to like fifth from like. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Vettel could have won that race if he wanted to. Like, if he didn't spin,
What?
probably could have.
Yeah, he could have. I feel like he would have. It would have been more likely he than Hamilton winning Silverstone. I feel like the Ferrari in Silverstone and Monza was just like I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, that's kind of true, I
Raikkonen,
guess.
yeah, Raikkonen would have won that race if like they didn't keep Bottas out and like fuck up his tires.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Mercedes, bro. When I saw Mercedes, it's a bad taste in my mouth. Very, very bad taste in my mouth. I wanted to puke. I was like, this is just wrong. I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong.
Yeah. But covered everything, all of our
Yeah.
previous season wins.
Yeah. I'm just trying to
Um,
catch up with the predictions, to be honest. Nothing else. I don't really give a shit about anything else at this point.
yeah. So yeah, I guess that's
My faith
everything
in Reading
really.
paid off. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess I have to peace out. See ya. Thanks.
Were you recording?
And stop it now.